evening and welcome. You're on to Aspheric TV and this is the news wrap-up. My name is Dabaru Gifts. The headlines: Strike, industrial courts to decide on FG suits against ASUU, September 16th. 2023, Peter Obi alleges threats to assassinate him. School fence collapse in Lagos leaves 2 children dead. King Charles III addresses Parliament. Please stay tuned for details of these stories. Now the news. The National Industrial Court has adjourned the case between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, to September 16th. Recall that the university lecturers on Friday 14th, 2022 embarked on a 4-week total and comprehensive strike to press home their unresolved demands on the federal government. Justice Polycap Hamman adjourned the matter to enable both parties to file the necessary papers for the suit. The head of press and public relations at the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Olajide Oshundun, had revealed that the matter was referred to the Registrar of National Industrial Court by the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Ngige, following which the government approached the courts requesting an order for ASUU to resume while the dispute is being addressed. ASUU demands funding for the revitalization of public universities, which amounts to 1.1 trillion naira, payment of earned academic allowances, and adoption of the University Transparency Accountability Solution, UTAS, as a preferred payments option, instead of the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System, IPPIS, payments of promotion arrears and the negotiation of the 2009 ASUU FGN agreement. The federal government's Briggs Renegotiation Committee had since April 2022 been meeting with ASUU and other labor unions in the universities, who went on strike due to its disputes with the government and non-resolution of demands of the 2009 agreements signed with the federal government. Minister of Education Adamu, who insisted on no work, no pay policy, had earlier said that the insistence of ASUU on the payment of the withheld salaries was stalling negotiations by the parties. He added that the government had met all the demands of ASUU, except the payment of 6 months' salary arrears, which President Muhammadu Buhari rejected when the proposal to the effect was presented to him. After several extensions of the industrial action, ASUU remained adamant in its resolve to press on with its demand, as it's now declared an indefinite total and comprehensive strike on August 30th over the failure of the government to meet its demands. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party for the 2023 election, has claimed that he had been told multiple times that a certain group of people was after his life. According to Sahara reporters, he made this known in an interview session with Ngige Media TV. He said, "I have been told several times, Peter, those people are going to kill you. Don't do what you are doing." According to a statement issued by the President General of the coalition, Goodluck Ibem, some terrorists told their kidnapped victims who were freed that they had concluded plans to assassinate Obi over his decision to run for the presidency in 2023, saying Obi was a threat. Responding to the threat, Kosel said Peter Obi has the constitutional right as a bona fide citizen of Nigeria to run for any political office of his choice, saying the threat may lead to war. A fence collapsed at a Lagos school, Covenant Point Academy at Ajose Street in the Amukoko area of Lagos State. It has left 2 children, Samat, Sahid, and a yet-to-be-identified girl, dead. Vanguard gathered that the 9-year-old girl was walking past the front of the school to link her destination in the area, while 3-year-old Samat was playing around the fence of the school, close to his mother's shop, when the fence collapsed and hit the duo. According to Vanguard, the fence caved in on the minors. Its impact crushed Samat's head, killing him instantly, while the 9-year-old girl lost consciousness and reportedly died shortly after the incident. An eyewitness, Ganiyu Ayeloja, said residents who were traumatized over the incident informed the police, adding that the owner of the school had been arrested. He said the police came around and they arrested the owner of the school building. The building has no pillars, they just stacked blocks. The building was not well structured at all. There was no wiring, no pillar, and nothing to hold the building together. That's why it fell easily. King Charles III called Britain's parliament the living and breathing instrument of our democracy and pledged to follow his late mother, Queen Elizabeth's example in maintaining its independence in an address to both chambers on Monday. According to Reuters, King Charles arrived at Westminster Hall in London to a fanfare of trumpets with his wife Camilla, Queen Consort, for the address, part of a series of pageantry-filled ceremonies following the Queen's death on Thursday at her family home in Balmoral, Scotland, after 70 years on the throne. After the address, the monarch set out for Edinburgh to join his siblings for a solemn procession when the coffin of Queen Elizabeth is taken to the city's historic cathedral. They will then take a part in a vigil at St. Giles Cathedral on the Scottish capital's centuries-old Royal Mile, where the coffin will lie at rest before being flown to London on Tuesday. Prime Minister Liz Truss, still in her first week in office, and parliamentarians from the House of Commons and the House of Lords attended the address in Westminster Hall. The Lord Speaker described the late Queen as both a leader and a servant of her people. Charles and Camilla sat on ceremonial chairs with cavalry troopers in red tunics and plumed helmets standing to attention behind. In his address, Charles said, while very young, Her late Majesty pledged herself to serve her country and her people and to maintain the precious principles of constitutional government which lie at the heart of our nation. This vow she kept with unsurpassed devotion. The assembly sang God Save the King. Charles 73, who automatically became King of the United Kingdom and 14 other realms, including Australia, Canada, Jamaica, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea, on his mother's death, is known for expressing his views on matters ranging from the environment to youth issues. He has suggested that as king, he might have to moderate his style, in keeping with the tradition that the monarch keeps out of political matters.